I just want to give you a quick look here at some of the features we're working on for the new version of Amethyst, which we'll be launching later in the year. Now, Amethyst is our Flash platform IDE for Visual Studio. Here I'm going to show you one of the new debugging features. I've got my little adventure game. I click to go south, and you can see that we've got some new features in the debugger. On the left hand side over here, this is the debugger that we've got in Amethyst 1. It's still going to be there in Amethyst 2, the new version. And as before, you can hover over and evaluate things in the editor, or you can look down in the debug window such as the locals. But there's something completely new which you can see over in this window, and that's a bubble-based debugger. Now, what are bubbles? Well, bubbles are a trace of where your code has been before it's arrived at the breakpoint. You can see I've got a breakpoint down here in this bubble, and effectively I can see where the code has executed. It's like the call stack arranged in a visual way. So it's more than just a graph as well. You can see that it's sort of joined up with arrows to show the order in which these methods have been called. But I can actually go back in time to follow what's happened in the course of the methods being called. So from this bubble, I go back to this bubble just by clicking in it, and look in the standard debugging window on the left, and you can see that synchronizes. And I go back to this bubble by clicking in it. Also watch the locals window. That synchronizes too. So as I go back through my bubbles, I can go back and forward through a visual representation of the call stack. And of course I can, in the normal way, step through the code, and you can see that as I'm stepping, it's again synchronized. The bubbles and the standard debug window are synchronized. Press F5 to continue, and the bubbles again update to show the call stack in its current state. Up to now I've shown you the bubbles in their own docking tool window. There are some options for use with the bubbles if you don't want them docked in that way. For example, here, let's show you another debugging session. Here I've set them free in a virtual window, so you can see they overlie the screen underneath. This is actually Visual Studio. If you like, you can put the virtual debugging screen in a separate monitor. If you've got a 2 or 3 monitor system, you can put all your debugging bubbles somewhere out of the way on one of the monitors. And again, I can just step through as before. Now, there are also some other options. You can arrange bubbles in various different ways by, you can cascade them, for example. You can minimize them all or stack them. You can open them up and move them around as you like. And resize, obviously, and so on. And you can clear them all out of the way. And now we're back in the standard debugger. So that's just a first quick look at one of the features that's coming up in the forthcoming version of Amethyst 2. And for more information, as always, go to the SapphireSteel software website at www.sapphiresteel.com.